I can only remember that in talking with him about this in those years when he was commissioner of sanitation, he was very excited about it, and he would use the expression, I think I can squeeze out another nickel per hour raise. He used the expression, squeeze out of the budget. And he just seemed to be very delighted about this. Well, the people like me and other people who are not in close touch with the sanitation department, this wasn't a particularly exciting thing. We just thought it was, Loeb was just, this was something that appealed to him, but we heard him say it, and he was delighted about it, and he was delighted about the things he could do uh, to improve their lot. There's no real question, I don't think, about that, and I suppose the men themselves at that time and even thereafter would probably be able to support that. You know, that did occur. Now, what happened when Ferris took over, I don't really know. And what happened when Pete Sisson took over, I understand that they had a generally sweep under the rug sort of approach down there. That I don't intend as personal criticism of Sisson. It may not be accurate because I don't know firsthand, but certainly the lid seemed ready to fly off during the latter part of Sisson's administration, and did fly off immediately after the new government came in following the first of this year.
On February 5th, was there anything that you recalled, and any of you men, and probably particularly the mayor, about what his attitude would be about a situation if indeed they did strike or they did ask for union? Was the question of union recognition, and I would first appreciate the answer to the first part about, did he take a stand, in other words?
Yes, he had a policy, and it was not a difficult policy to understand because it was clear. His policy was that he did not believe that the men should be represented by a union as an exclusive bargaining agency. He felt that the men themselves in any group, either individually or in any groups or represented by any organizations, should be able to communicate directly with the executive, not just Blackburn, but with Loeb himself, about any grievances. He did not object and had no objection to their belonging to the union. In other words, he recognized their right to belong to the union, and felt that he should deal with the union, but not to the exclusion of any other representatives of the people.
Was this his stand in relation to a union as it union was related to a governmental body, or was this his stand about all unions?
Oh no, this isn't his stand about labor generally. As far as labor generally goes, Loeb is, of course, open-minded about labor as far as I know. I don't know what his private business background is on labor, and I've never heard him comment on it. All I know is that he has some friends in labor and that sort of thing. He felt, with reference to public employees, for two reasons, I think, if I recall. One is that they had to do with the health and safety of the people, that it would dilute the responsibility, certainly perhaps even to some degree eliminate his or any administration's control over employees having to do with the health and safety of a community if they dealt with a labor union. Plus, he felt he would be dealing with taxpayers' money, and taxpayers' money, the question of whether or not it would be subject to bargaining in the same way that private enterprise money, profit, would be, is a totally different question, because taxpayers' money more or less is trust money.
Now, I guess the February 5th, then it was more or less directed that Mr. Blackburn handle it as best he could, or...
That's right. Blackburn was supposed to continue handling it, and we were, Hallie and I were available to, Hallie and I knew about some of the law at that time, the state law on municipal labor.
Did any of you gentlemen ever, I was going to say dream or contemplate, I suppose, that there indeed would be a strike?
We thought that there might be a strike. The consensus that day was that it wouldn't be but a few of
Was any mention made of the fact that the New York strike was going on at that time?
Yes, now that you mention it, that was, of course, that was noted in the conversation, and that was a factor that naturally would make us think that there'd be a great deal of encouragement given to the employees to strike because of the publicity that was being given the New York strike.
Did you think that the encouragement was going to the leaders of the strike? That there might be pressure or something like that from the people involved in the New York strike?
From those people?
Yes.
No, we didn't. I don't believe that there was any feeling that there was an identification between the two groups.
There would be no direct communication.
That's right. If there was, it was unknown to us.
Yeah. So again, it was just the impetus or the publicity of the New York strike that you thought might catch
It was a
on.
background that sort of gave a little spurt to the local situation.